Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to see what is a web application and what are the parts of it. And as a full stack web development or a full stack web developer, what are the components that we'll be working on? So this is a very short video on web application. What are web application? What is a website? What is the difference between them and parts of web application? So I'm Tarak. This is your YouTube channel, Web Tutorials, and don't forget to hit that like button, share with your friends, subscribe to this channel, and let's go.
Before we get into web application, let's see what a simple application is. So, say for example, you have gone through, you have come across many web applications in your real life, say Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can even your Chrome is a kind of a web application that is developed for your mobile. So it's an application, the web application which is running on your mobile. There are a lot of other web applications like Facebook and stuff. So let's see some examples of web application. Say this here I have opened is my Facebook account, this thing. So the way you see this, so web application can be divided into different parts. So let's get to that first. So web application components can be divided as a client. A client is nothing but a browser in which you are seeing or an mobile screen or a Chrome window, Internet Explorer, that is your client. And what happens in that client is you give a user the experience. Okay, so user interacts with it. So this is what a user sees. Okay, so user interface and user interaction and user experience is what the client delivers to you as a person. So this is an interface where a human or a person sitting outside the computer interacts with the computer or interacts with your phone, and this is what he sees and this is what he gets. So this is the responsibility of a front-end web developer or an application developer. So as a full stack web developer, the front end web developer is just a part of it, who is responsible for developing this user interface and user experience. Say, for example, let's take the Facebook app and see. So, this is a design. The design elements like logo, your login screen, the header, your about page, and this thing. This is how it looks on your desktop. Say, for example, if you're seeing it on your mobile, it would look something like this. So if you're looking on your mobile, you'll have your login number and password. Or if you look at the same page, let's see how the same page looks on mobile. So this is the page that it looks on Facebook as a desktop application, and this is the page as how it looks on your mobile phone. So if you see this, it's the same thing like it's on Facebook, join, the same information, but the way they have rearranged the stuff. This is called a responsive website design. Uh, this is an user experience that a developer can give. Okay, a front-end developer's responsibility is to visualize this idea and create applications. Let's also go to Twitter. It's not Twitter, it's Twitter. Oops. I hope that's my handle. Yeah, that's my handle. So this is how it looks on your desktop. So this is an application. So basically what it does, so this is how it is displayed to a client, and this is how your post should be, the color of your fonts, the color of your link, the dark version, how your header should be displayed, what should be the height and the width. So all this is the responsibility of a developer or a designer. Okay, I would call front-end web developer or a designer. Okay, so apart in this application, if you see, apart from the design elements, there are a lot of things happening in the background. One is, where is this twitter.com coming from? Okay, so basically all these sites are hosted on either a cloud server or an internet server. So that basically forms the web server part. Okay, and what we do here or how we interact with it is by using an interface called web services. Apart from in the web server, what else happens is like all the business logic and the calculations and all those happens in the server side. it can happen on the client side also. So business logic can be broken down into two parts: server side business logic and the client side business logic. So client side business logic normally happens with your JavaScript programming languages, where you calculate the position of elements, and you can change the data on your web page and stuff like that. And the business logic on the back end happens where it takes pulls in data from different database, calculates it, and depending upon the request and response, like what you're requesting to the web server, the backend logic would apply and it would give back the details. So in the business logic, you also have a layer which interacts with the database. So what is a database? So database, there are basically two other types of database, which I would say, like one database is like uh, relationship database model, RD. Okay, it's a relationship database model. This is more of a tabular structure model. So where you have tables and columns and rows, and you can reference. It's just like your account keeping book, for example. So you can refer each transaction in your journal to something in your balance sheet and stuff like that. So you can make things like that. So a client user table where all your information, like your address, of all the clients are stored in a particular table. So that's how RDBMS works. And there is another document-based database, document-oriented database model, or famously known as NoSQL model. Normally, RDBMS uses SQL, or structured query language. In NoSQL model, you have things like MongoDB is one of the famous database which stores data as a document in different format, not like a tabular format. It either stores data in a JSON format, that is one of the thing, or some other database which can also store data in XML format. Okay, so these are the different types of database. The most famous one you would come across is like MySQL, Postgres. So basically, if you see Oracle, it used to be the main point, or the standard point in which the uh, applications were made earlier. Nowadays, the this kind of database, the NoSQL databases, started get started getting a lot of recognition, like MongoDB and stuff, because it is very easy to handle them, and it takes very little storage space, and it is available on cloud. It is very easy to send request and get request and response. It directly deals with API calls. Okay, so if you see all this, even this database can is also hosted on web server. So web server is a place where all your backend datas and your website is actually on the internet. Okay, so this is how your application works. So more in detail, if you see, like, say for example, facebook.com. If you see, facebook.com is exactly not an application. This is something called a DNS, or domain name service, or domain names. So what basically facebook.com is, so if you go to command prompt, I'll show you. Ping facebook.com, but I can't put ping https. It should be uh, so if you see, this is the IP address of that particular web server. So if you go, so normally people will not be able to remember this. If you are uh, say for example, I want to share this application with my friend. I want to tell them, like, how do you access facebook.com or Facebook. So I cannot keep sharing this particular ID, so because this is not realizable or not recognizable. But if you also type in that same ID, okay, this is basically the web server's IP address. So this is where we query our details. So what you see, facebook.com is the name given to that web address, and this is stored in the name server. So domain name service is where all this information is stored. Uh, or your web server, you can buy it from GoDaddy, and there are a lot of different services available. Use it. So in detail of for a front-end web developer, I'll be making the next video, which will cover everything that is related to the front-end web developer. So to recap this video, in this video we have seen about web application. What is a client? It's a kind of a browser or a screen in which you interact. The user interface and the experience is what a user feels, and that is what is the responsibility of a client. It does not do any calculations. The calculations and all are done in web server, and web services like API are calls made to get and receive data between the client and the backend. Backend can be even a stored file system, not necessarily a database. It can be even a file. So you can request that as in a REST API. Business logic again broken down into two parts. One is a client side execution and one is server side execution. Client side execution normally happens using Java script, and server side execution happens using server. Even server side execution also there is JavaScript, and also there are other things like PHP, Python, Django. You can use those programming languages to do server-side execution. And database, as we saw, it can be of different types. One is like relationship database model, and the other one is sorry, document-oriented model like MongoDB. So next in next video we'll be seeing what a front-end web developer is, what are his responsibility, how the client interacts and how the client shows you the interface. So how is the technology or say HTML, CSS and JavaScript is converting and displayed to the particular like it is displayed in this particular fashion. So we'll be seeing that in our next video. So don't forget to subscribe this channel and look out and just click on the bell icon so that you can receive the next video as soon as it is out.